So just a quick disclaimer, this video is about being a squad leader and not how to play squad leader. It's aimed at experienced players looking to up their game and not at all at new players. I don't believe a single video can cover every situation in every game mode in every map, and how you should react or how to deal with every type of person you may encounter while playing squad. So if that's what you're looking for, there are many other great videos out there to check out on how to play squad leader. That being said, I also don't believe a single video can cover how to be a squad leader. I'll forget some stuff. I may also poorly explain some concepts and aspects. So please, if you have any questions, you can type them in the comments below and I'll do my best to reply in detail. But I highly recommend you check out my Twitch. Link is down below. And I stream every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, most Mondays. Visit me here and I can better answer any questions you may have pertaining to squad. I feel a lot of this on your first listen through might not make a lot of sense, so re-listening to this video a few times might help you better understand the point I'm trying to get across. I want to mention that you do not need to take SLing this seriously, and I don't. These things are things that a good SL needs to keep in mind. SLing is something I greatly enjoy. It's something I'm very passionate about. This video will be structured in a blog format with little, if any, visual aid, meaning I'm mostly going to talk and read this 10-page script. It'll also be a little bit more casual in nature, so sit back, relax, get comfy, and let's have a conversation about being a squad leader. This is a video idea given to me by one of my fantastic viewers, one that I would not have done without some encouragement. But that person really got me thinking, what does it mean to be a squad leader? Could I even put it in video form? Well, I'm gonna try here, and special shout out to him, you know who you are. The aim of this video is to help you understand what it takes to be a squad. It's aimed at public players of squad, but competitive players might pick something up new too. This video will be formatted in a way to be timeless and should be relevant long after squad has had its last update. I've decided to structure this video in 7 different areas in which you need to divide your attention. I've also structured these areas in order from least mentally taxing to most mentally taxing, minus the last one. But keep in mind, you need to learn how to divert your attention to each of these categories according to the priority as the situation demands, which will make more sense at the end of the video. Some extraordinary people might say that they're able to give full attention to each of these aspects at all times, to which I say, bullshit. Get mad about it. Comment down below about how great you are and let's play a few matches together. Poke holes in your ego for you. Shit, I'll even do it for free. This is already getting pretty long-winded and I'm sorry, but one last thing. I want to point out real quick that a lot of these concepts intermingle and also have direct correlations to one another, so you may see repeating phrases and quotes. I define squad as a social FPS, which by the end of this video, you'll understand why I believe this to be the case. To be a squad leader, you must be confident, but also humble. You must learn to accept failure and criticism. You must be willing to take risks. There's always something you don't know, and there's always something more to learn. Every mistake and failure you make is a learning experience. Learn from it. Come out a better, stronger, more knowledgeable SL. At its core, SL is a servant to you and your squad, and other squads as well. You're there to help your squad members do better, play better. You coordinate supplies, spawns, compile information from what you hear and see, as well as carry out plans and tactics. Their success is your success, and if this doesn't sound enjoyable, SL is not for you. SLing will not always be fun, and will require a lot of mental and emotional energy because yes, emotion will need to be applied in some situations. As an SL, information is your weapon, and while this video may not teach you that information exactly, it'll teach you how to receive and convert that information into a weapon. At the end of the day, when all is said and done, your squad is only effective as you are as a squad leader. You are there for them. Touch and input. This should be second nature to anyone who plays or has played video games. This is simply you pressing ASDW, your mouse click, your headshots, your kills. But this should come second nature to anyone who's played a shooter. But why is it on this list? Because whether you know it or not, for normal players, this area takes quite a bit of attention, thought, and decision making, in which most other games isn't a big deal. But because you chose SL, this area of concentration can suffer, and I'm here to tell you that's okay. It's okay to not have the most kills, or downs, or revives, or points. Because the success of your squad is your success, because you put them in a position to succeed. And that's on you. Good fucking job. The being a squad leader aspect of this is your ability to quickly give range if asked, which is when you put an attack mark on the map so your squad member can get the range for an attack. Usually this is in the case of a light anti-tank or heavy anti-tank, so they don't miss their shot, which is vital. Most cases should be priority number 1. Another aspect is placing marks on the map. Both of these aspects should be done within a few seconds, but accurately. Any longer and you're missing out on vital information by diverting your attention to another aspect such as the map or from various chats. Sight. Again, this should be pretty common ability to any video game player who is not actually blind. This is taking all the information on the screen and processing it into information or communication. Simple, right? Let's see about that. Squad introduces the map, but not just any map, a map in which every mark besides the objective is placed by another player. This adds a few more complications to the mix. For one, accuracy. You have no clue if that squad leader or fire team leader that placed that mark is accurate, so generally assume it's off. Personally, when a mark is dead on, I'm surprised by this, because 90% of the time, they're not. Next is age. How old is that? Is it fading? Did a random destroy the vehicle or have? Is there a Vit carcass nearby? Does it correlate with the mark? Did you miss the call out? These are all aspects that the normal squad player learns and must learn. So what's the squad leader aspect of it? I'm glad you asked. On top of all this, you have the ability to talk to the person that put the mark almost directly and ask about information. But we'll get to that conversation in the next few chapters. As an SL, you now get to keep track of your squad and all the other squads. Playing a game called Squad, generally you would assume players would stick with a squad leader or play as a squad, but oh my friend, how silly you sound to assume that. You cannot assume your squad is doing what you ask at any given situation, so keep an eye on the map. Don't micromanage, but ask what's going on, what the holdup might be, or how you can better assist them. This ties in and will be better explained in the squad chat aspect, but just some things to keep in mind. As said before, you now also get to keep track of other squads and what they're doing, all 41 other players. Now this sounds like a tall and mostly useless order, but I feel this is where many other squad leaders fail. As a squad leader, you are held accountable for your squad's actions, and you are also held accountable for not speaking up when another squad lead is making a poor decision, especially when the decision can be detrimental to the game's outcome. Think I'm wrong? That's fine, but you're also watching a video on how to be an SL in a video game, so now this is for the both of us. Obviously, you can only comment, suggest, and guide other SLs so much before you sound annoying, and it starts to affect your mental energy. But this is a topic that will be added on in the next few chapters, but just something to chew on for now. The main takeaway here is that you need to know what other squads are doing, and this doesn't always require communication. Part of your skill as an SL is directly reliant on seeing a friend or foe and knowing what they were thinking. But this comes with time and cannot be taught, but take a second to think about why that squad is way off point with a logi. It's very possible they don't know the points, or they could be setting up a mortar. It's possible they could be pinned down. So ask yourself, as a squad leader, what can you do to help that squad? Do they need help? Just ask. No communication? Did they have comms before? Are they under duress? Send an APC over to see if you can help. Did a whole squad get wiped out? From what? Did they mark it? Communicate to them. Find out what it was. I can't cover every situation, but this is to get you thinking critically about situations you may see, to be more empathetic to other SLs and players. Speech. Most of us have played online games. Besides telling great these nuts jokes, your voice can be used as a critical tool for disseminating information to your teammates. In Squad, for the non-SL players, this is usually in the form of communication with your SL and teammates. You can use your voice to communicate in local chat with non-squad vehicle teams, to create plans, offer aid, and gather information to send to your SLs, which you can then process as CC fits. This isn't much more than any other shooter with voice communication. However, with SLs, speech is the SL's single sharpest tool. Squad leading is using your voice, and if you aren't prepared to talk and listen a lot, once again, squad leading may not be for you. It's an SL must be constantly disseminating information to and from your squad. It can be as simple as telling the command chat that one enemy MBT is confirmed destroyed, Any self-respecting armor SL is going to take note of something like that, and it's valuable information to put out there. Also, listening and receiving information is the other half of speech. If you see a mark, ask about it. Generally, a proper SL would have called it out, and it's possible you may have missed it, but don't be afraid to ask. As critical as speech is to an SL, speech is a double-edged sword. Taking too long, stumbling over your words, improper verbiage, can decrease your effectiveness as a squad leader and the cohesion within the team. So it's critical you learn to perform basic, accurate callouts before attempting the role. Obviously, this comes with time, and while this guide is not a guide on how to SL, just be aware of these aspects. I'm keeping this aspect short because the next 3 will provide a deeper dive on each of these 3 voice channels, in which we'll now move on to. Local chat. First up in chats is local chat. Dismissing this chat as an SL would be your first mistake. Running to a firefight, getting a quick sit rep, or figuring out what the fuck is going on is critical to creating a quick plan of attack for your squad. In some situations, your squad is there first and you're playing catch up, but generally that should not be the case. It's in the name. Squad leader. You lead. Moving on from the obvious, it's a common fact that in public servers and non-structured games, you don't always have the best players as squad leaders. This is a skill you'll pick up on dealing with these sorts, and you'll have very knowledgeable and skilled players that just straight up don't care to play SL and deal with the bullshit that it brings. You'll meet players with thousands of hours in games playing one role, and they play that role or kit remarkably. Do not think less of anyone not in your squad, because that last surviving blueberry of a firefight might just be the right guy with the right information to help you win that fight. Squad chat. Second up is squad chat. In squad, ideally, you have 8 other members to rely on for information, advice, ideas, and tactics. As a squad member, don't be afraid to suggest ideas to the SL. Don't be afraid to repeat the information, and don't be afraid to remind SL of marks on the map. I would, however, discourage backseat squad leading or attempting to downplay the squad lead's ideas or plans. Squad works best when everyone is working together and trusting each other. Your SL will make poor decisions, and that's okay. After the situation, tell them what the squad could have done better to prevent the negative outcome. Running off on your own and playing away from the squad is counterintuitive to any SL and generally is reserved for squads who know each other, their play styles, and fighting tactics. There's a good chance you don't know the SL you're joining, so if you don't know what he wants, or where he wants you, or what the plan may be, just ask. On the flip side, SLs, don't be afraid to ask for suggestions. This may come as a shock to some of you, but squad is a team game, and no SL in the game will make the right decision or have all the right answers. But the absolute critical part is that you make the decision. Just the act of making the decision is one of the most stressful actions in a squad that a squad leader will face. Showing confidence will gain you trust with your squad mates, and you do this with your voice. Mostly in squad chat, having clear, quick, and decisive actions and orders backed by a confident tone goes a very, very long way as an SL. Not confident in real life? Fake it till you make it. Fake it for long enough and you will be confident. I cannot stress this enough. You will make bad decisions, and that is 100% okay. Learn from them. Learn from your squad, and learn what would have better helped you out in that situation. Squad is all about positioning and map control. You and your squad, regardless of what style of squad it is, be it mechanized or infantry, will have a part to play in that. While my personal style is hands-off and request when needed, this may not be your style. My personal goal as an SL is to put my squad members in positions where they can be most effective to their kits. Medics, stay back. Remind them of how critical the role is. Auto rifleman, machine gunner kit, remind them of the fire support they bring to the team. Hats, lats, have them a little bit further out to intercept any vehicle that may try to barge in on your controlled area. You don't have to do exactly this, but communicate with your squad and give them your expectations. Verbally tell the lats that you want them to prioritize tracks or engines. Verbally tell the MG that you want him on Overwatch as you approach the point. You are their leader. They may have just joined you to grab their favorite kit. The majority joined to work together and enact your plans. Remember this fact. Now, with all this confidence talk, notice I use words like suggest, direct, and guide rather than order, make, or force. And that's because Squad's a fucking video game. It's a fucking game. It's not real life. You do not decide if they follow you. You do not control them. They decide that. They make the decisions to follow. What decides if they follow you? Do you sound confident? Do you sound like you know what you're doing? Do you know how to react? Are you aware of what's going on with the rest of the squad and the team? If you make a rule like no marksman or take only the transport truck, you have a valid reason. For a lot of these questions, it may seem insignificant to the SL, but keep these questions in mind as you learn how to squad lead. Because earning the trust and loyalty of random people of an online video game is such a huge aspect a lot of new SLs overlook while playing the game. With this, showing compassion, understanding, and admitting you fucked up, essentially humbling yourself, is the other half of squad leading. Be open to advice and ideas. As I've said before, as an SL, you are not all-knowing, especially if you are watching this video. So, the absolute best advice to save yourself some mental stress and strain is to be humble. Command chat. Now for the fun part. This aspect of squad is unknown to the majority of squad players. They know about it, but they don't really know it. Once again, this is dealing with people's egos, emotions, and personalities, which are all very clear and present here. We find out who can handle stress, criticism, and advice in this chat. And it's the single most mentally taxing aspect of squad. In command chat, you are expected by the other SLs to make the right decisions and know the game. There is no excuse. It's perfectly okay to not know something and ask. If you have confidence, but you're not humble in this chat, you will be corrected. Now, I make it sound pretty bad, and usually it's not, but I've seen SLs and new players alike completely quit squad due to how stressful the communication is here. I don't want that to happen to you, so if I make it sound worse than it is and you go in expecting this, it's not bad as I made it out, awesome. That's my goal with squad leading. As with squad leading, always prepare for the worst. Now, in command chat, as with squad chat, you have the ability to relay information to and from your squad to and from command chat. You're the go-between. Keeping communications quick, decisive is even more key here because you're talking over another squad's squad chat. Now, generally, I believe direct chatting is counterintuitive to a team. While yes, it keeps comms clear, it removes the information from the game that I may be able to use for a plan. Just a quick example. I'm preparing to push west across an open field. Another friendly squad is north, and they're also pushing up, preparing to push west. Some sort of armor is on its way, and I direct chat them and say, hey, can you drop engine smoke by the west tree line? Now, I know this armor is coming, so I wait for the smoke to deploy, but the squad to the north assumes the armor is going straight west for the rest of us. Well, now that squad north didn't hear that information and can't take advantage of it, so he pushes without smoke cover and dies. This mistake could have been negated by simply not using direct chat. Also, I know what's coming next. I can't hear my squad use direct chat. There's few simple fixes for this. Adjust your sound settings. You have the ability to turn up or down individual chat sounds, as well as put sounds to left and right ears individually. If you say this in command chat, I automatically classify you as a new squad leader, and I will not rely on you for much at all. I will, however, be extra critical of your decision because you are a new player. I highly recommend you take advantage of both of these aspects to prevent sounding new. You need to learn how to juggle chats and where to direct your attention. Now, a small aside, a proper armor squad would see this and provide support either way, or at least they should, but let's assume he's a new armor player, all hypothetically. Now, let's take a breather and remind ourselves, squad is just a game. Not a regular game, a fucking game. A game you fuck with. Squad is not a military simulator, and while it can be played this way, it is simply a tactical FPS with modern military assets. If you attempt to play this way, you will be ineffective and slow. Proper call-out communication and etiquette do not make you a milsimmer, it's being an effective squad leader. But between you and me, if you say things like solid copy, how copy, or repeat, prepare to be memed on. Oh yeah, prepare to be memed on. With that, just like in squad chat section, you need to earn the trust of other squad leaders. This is more critical here than in squad chat because realistically, in squad, you could just kick them. Here you have to deal with them. There is no kicking, so starting off on a light note puts you in a favorable position to anyone listening. During the staging phase at the beginning of the game, if you're not stratting, tell a joke or two, get some laughs, get your name seen and known. If you have a max of 2 hours with this set of SLs, you need to work pretty quickly. With this, SLs will be more receptive to things you ask them, more willing to direct supplies or support, and will increase your effectiveness as a squad, thus helping the game, and hopefully providing the win. But this isn't all you need to gain support or favor from other SLs. As with squad chat, you need to display knowledge. You need to have a good plans, and tactics earned from experience and playing the game. You also need to have quick, accurate, and decisive callouts. Just as a quick example of something accurate, enemy tank track direct north, Neva upper 200 meters out, grid square delta 364. This covers the who, what, where in 2 different styles, and why, and realistically that's all that's needed. That maybe took 2 seconds. Now, with all of my dislike of direct chat, it has its uses. Joking, long plans, long striding, criticizing, or even telling someone to relax is all direct chat should be used for. Which, even then, all of that can and should be done in a non-direct chat manner. We would all like to be a part of the conversation. Which brings me to the next point. As said before,
command chat
is not for the thin-skinned individuals. If you make a fuck up, be prepared to be criticized on it. My style is sarcasm, followed by perception of what went wrong, followed by a suggestion or how it could be helpful or avoid that in the future. Don't hold me to this. Obviously, I don't follow these rules exactly, but 90% of the time, this is what I personally do. Most people at this stage of playing squad, which means if they're playing squad leader, they're in command chat. Most people at this stage are humble. You won't have an issue, but occasionally you will get a thin-skinned individual who will be offended. They will argue, they'll create an excuse, they'll whine about it. They might even become spiteful and hateful, and overall uncooperative. This is not my problem, nor will it be yours. His negative reactions are not a result of my communication towards him, nor yours. Some people are just like this. Don't let this bring you down or stress you out. He's thin-skinned and a poor squad leader. Leave it at that. If he fucks up again, criticize him again, publicly. Public shaming is part of the game, but be aware it's not shaming if you take it in stride. Admit you fucked up, listen to the given advice if any was given. In any situation, never add emotion to the mix if you can help it. This is another critical aspect of being a squad leader. You need to be cool as a cucumber at all times. As soon as you get emotional, you lose. You get deducted 1,000 social credits from the other squad leaders.
Social credit deducted.
One thing I do want to hit on real quick, because I experienced this recently. If someone's constantly making the wrong decisions, don't be a bystander. Say something. If another SL is following my criticism style, agree or disagree with him. Actions of others cannot be corrected if it's just one squad leader criticizing another, but if the rest of the team agrees that he's wasting assets or wasting manpower, supplies, it can get through his ego shell, shock some sense into him. Does it sound like bullying? Probably, and that's okay, but it's not bullying. While it is a game and everyone is welcome to play their way, your actions as an SL and every other action you make can make or break the game. With all this talk of spicy command chat drama, I want to talk about how to diffuse or negate any possibility of hostility. Comedy is king. You need to remind people that this is a video game and there's no reason to get emotional without actually saying. I commonly say things like, tensions run high in command chat, or don't worry, new player friendly server, even if it's not a new player friendly server, because it makes people think and laugh. Sometimes if someone is really upset, find them on the map, talk to them in local chat. It's private but public. It's more personal, and it's an easy way to get them back into the game with a clear head. They can vent without that noob SL saying he can't hear his squad, or an admin crying for him to use his direct chat. Why do you care? Because it takes actions like this to be a squad leader. Anyone can be taught how to SL, but becoming one is a different story. We're all playing this game for fun, and fun means different things for us. There's a time and a place for fucking around, and there's a time and a place for being serious. Gauging the situation is a skill you'll pick up with time. I honestly don't even think I'm done with this section because there's just so much more to say and talk about here, but these are just the things that come to mind. It's not complete, but I'm not here to teach, just to open your mind to different aspects and ideas. text chat. Lastly, this is probably one of the most underutilized aspects of any squad player. I won't speak about things like misinformation, misdirection, or lying, but valuable information can be gathered here. Times when Vics are destroyed should be posted there, when vehicles are destroyed, and usually experienced players will put these down. Sometimes a new or no mic player will type critical information here. It's okay to have a player without a mic if they're willing to play the game, as long as they can hear you, realistically. And very rarely, you might see enemy information talking in all chat. Take advantage of that. Use that aspect. And that's going to wrap it up for any of the main information that you'll get from this video. Just my little conclusion. Yeah, this is probably my 8th take of making this video. It's a lot of information, but I'm seriously just scratching the surface here. Keep these aspects and ideas in mind, and with time and experience, you'll become a great squad leader. If you want some more examples, check out my Twitch channel. I only play squad leader, and I have been doing so since about 2017. I stream every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Links in the description below, of course. I know some of my thoughts and ideas are pretty out there, but just keep them in the back of your mind with squad. Hopefully you'll see why I call this a social shooter, and have a better idea on the micro aspects of squad leading, which will make you a much, much better squad. Thank you for listening, guys, and I'll see you next time. Well, I'm glad you asked. On top of this, you have the ability to talk to the person that put the mark almost directly and ask about information. Are you good? You need an allergy pill? As I was saying...